Happy, happy, happy.
Ho, ho, ho.
And a hum, hum, hum. Hello.
Welcome to the Trisbrina Show. And tonight the big question is, do you believe that you get what you expect? So if you believe things like, oh man, I'm not lucky. I never win. I probably won't get the promotion. That guy's not going to like me. You tend to get that. But what if you think things like, I think I'm going to get that part.
Things work out for me.
I think he likes me. I think he's the love of my life. Things work out for me. That tends to be what happens. Let us know in the chat, those of you who are here. Do you believe that you get what you expect? Because at Satori, we look through the lens of energy and alignment. And we even call this the law of alignment.
The law of alignment. So I think we all know that at this point, especially those of you in the Satori community, welcome. If you're new to our work, welcome.
Brina show.
So energetics, right? What are you projecting? What are you emanating? What are you vibing, man? Right? So you're putting that out. And there's an expectation behind that projection. There's what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you saying? What are you putting out there?
What are you appreciating in advance?
And in addition to what you're putting out, what are you realigning to, or where are you coming from? And we want to dive into that conversation. I think there's a really important place to start. We're going to talk about fear. We're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about this whole thing, the law of alignment. So welcome to the show.
We're going to start at the very beginning.
Well, let's
very good place
start
to start
at the airport.
Let's start with the Christmas miracle. Our little Christmas miracle. This is the most fun story. And I love it because there's so many parts of it that seem really insignificant. You could say the whole thing is insignificant. But from a higher perspective, it was so significant and it was so God source.
Can I inject for a second?
Yes.
I'm sorry. What do you guys think of our hats? I mean, we are pretty aligned. Okay, back to your story.
So one of my super love friends that I saw this woman online and I saw her talking years ago. So much so that I took inspired action. She was talking about her dog and how much she loved her dog. She was talking about having some dental work and how she didn't like dental work. And she was talking about working with her students and clients from a place of flow and abundance and positivity. And I thought she was so kooky and so like, you are my friend that I haven't met yet, that I sent her a private Facebook message. And I'm like, I'm Sabrina. I see you online. We're friends and we don't know it. Let's chat. So
we're friends and we don't know it. That's the law of expectation.
Yeah. And so I said, do you want to set up a Skype call? So we got on Skype and we talked and we got to be friends. We even did an event together, a really small group of women. We spent some time in LA together. We've been to her mastermind. She's been to ours. Anyway, her name's Gina Gabellini. And she's super fun. She used to actually have a radio show with Eva Gregory.
That's right.
All based on the teachings of Abraham Hicks or some kind of board game, something like that. So she's been into this manifestation world for a long time. Anyway, she was coming to Austin, and I don't know if she's ever been to Austin before, but she texted me and told me that she was coming here where we live for a specific thing and asked if I wanted to go. Well, we were busy helping people feel confident and charismatic and natural on camera.
Yes, we had quite the event happening.
So I couldn't go to the event with her. But I said, I'm going to pick you up from the airport. At least that time together. I'm just going to pick you up from the airport and I'm going to drive you to where you need to be.
Because that's what friends do.
Yeah, even though I don't live close to the airport and neither does where you're staying, that's what I want to do. I want to see you. And it ended up that my car was getting fixed. I broke a mirror, and it was getting fixed. I hit the mirror pulling out of the garage.
Don't talk about it.
So I said, well, I'm going to pick you up from your event, and I'm going to take you back to the airport when you go home. But turns out her mother-in-law was ill, and she had to leave early, and that didn't work out. So jump forward to just a few days ago. we land at an airport in Oakland. We're having a few days together, just to be together outside of the routine, to be together outside of the business. Just it's really nice sometimes to have time with the person you love outside of the normal set.
Just to walk around and hold hands and hug and sightsee and do things out of the ordinary.
Choose restaurants, and it was so fun.
Go shopping for a Christmas present.
So we land in Oakland, California, and we are, you're walking out of where your gate is, and there's a big sign, and it says, baggage claim that way. And I go the other way. Tristan goes, why are you going that way? I'm like, I'm going to use that bathroom. He goes, why? It's probably less crowded.
But we should go this way.
Yeah, we should go this way. No, I'm going to go this way. So I go over there to go to the bathroom. And then we come back and we start heading towards the gate. And Tristan goes, well, now I got to go to the bathroom. So he's going to the bathroom. So I'm waiting for him. And I'm telling you these details because they are insignificant. Seemingly. It's just like following what felt right. Right? No big deal. Absolutely no big deal. I'm going to go to the bathroom over there. Oh, I'm going to go over here. 10 seconds pass, and I'm like looking at walking down the hall, and I'm like, could it be? Is it a mirage? And our friend Gina was there in the airport walking past us. I mean, like right past us, like a foot past us.
We almost ran into each other.
And yes, and that's so awesome. And we had some time together to talk and catch up, and we were both laughing. But just thinking about, like Tristan was saying, all of the things that had to line up alignment, that I had an intention of seeing my friend for just a little while.
At an airport. Kind of crazy. This stuff happens often. I'm sure you guys have had weird, amazing, serendipitous moments like this.
Yeah, but if I hadn't said, I'm going to go over there to that restroom, I would have been in the bathroom, the other bathroom, when she walked by. Well, I could have had a different flight. She could have been 5 minutes early, 5 minutes late. It was exactly like, boom, we ran into
And it was within about a 10-day time span.
Yeah.
So they absolutely were going to connect at the airport and have a lovely car ride and all of that. And there was an intention. There was an expectation of seeing each other.
Yeah.
Right?
I had already experienced it.
There was a desire.
Even though it didn't happen.
It was, and you guys know, like, you're attractors, right? So whatever you're putting out is coming back. So it doesn't matter, like, whether it's positive or negative or whatever, you're going to get what you're putting out. She was putting out this rendezvous with a friend. She just didn't know it wasn't supposed to take place in Austin. It was going to take place in Oakland. And that's the most beautiful thing, is how the universe aligns things for us in our favor.
Yes.
Because that's what we're projecting. That's what we're expecting. And it's so important to retain those positive expectations, even when the externals seem to be very different. Oh, we're not going to get to see her. Oh, she's got to go back early. And this is just a small example of a much larger conversation.
Yeah.
Because think of all the things that you might be projecting, emanating right now. Are you holding true to the alignment of the energy behind that? So what made you desire to hang out with Gina? Most likely because you said we were besties before we ever met. You saw someone, you felt energetically aligned and connected to them. You went so far as to reach out.
She loves what I love.
You guys became really good friends. Yeah. And that's a very cool thing. Like,
she
you didn't know each other. It was strictly through this online world that we're part of. And then we've been hanging out with her and doing stuff with her. So it's amazing, right? So, but this is all...
And she called it the Christmas miracle.
She did. It was really sweet. So we thought it was a really good story to remind all of us of a couple of things. One is, you don't necessarily know how the alignment is going to strike when it strikes. And you might not know why you went down that road, or you did this thing, or you had a delay, or something else showed up. If you can maintain the positive connection and expectation to a feeling that feels good, then you're giving all the components necessary to this miraculous, incredible universe to line things up for us. However, had it been a different situation, something else Sabrina wanted to create in her life, and maybe it didn't happen, negative emotion can kick in. Negative emotion meaning, oh, I'm out of alignment. I'm not in that trust, in that positive flow. And then it starts to create these thoughts and these feelings that pull us out of the alignment. How can the universe match that up for you?
Yeah, so when it didn't happen that I was able to take her back, I didn't get into the sad, right? Life was happening. It was just like, oh, I'm going to have to find another way to see it.
It almost seemed like somebody might have been blocking the situation a little bit and interfering, but you didn't go there.
Right.
Right? Remember that? So you just maintain the expectation of things work out.
Yes, but what I really love, and the reason I underlined it in my own life, is because I love taking these simple manifestations that you could say kind of don't matter, right? And it's the exact same thing as the big boulders over here, the big desires, the big things, the things you really want, the things you really desire. Now, I wanted to see Gina, but I'm not going to call it like a big boulder. In December, I must see her. Like, it wasn't like that, but it's the same thing. It's following, like, sniffing out where you should go. In just a very light, playful way without over analyzing it. Oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom over there. Now, what if in that moment, actually Tristan did say, why can't you go to the bathroom over here? And I'm like,
I say it just like that?
I was like, no, I want to go over there. It's just starting to trust yourself to just be. Don't underline it as this is intuition, because then that makes it all weird. Just moving through your life in this aligned place, expecting miracles, expecting fun. And that's what that felt like.
So that one's just super playful, right? That's just, oh, look at this cool little thing that happened, right? Oh, look how the universe, is working in my life. And I think those are little fun gifts. They're little Christmas miracles to remind you of how alignment works.
Yeah. And what if, because I believe that in alignment, my energy and Gina's energy had already aligned.
Exactly.
So the physical had to match up to it. It was already done. It was just a matter of the script unfolding.
She was really looking forward to seeing you. You were really looking forward to seeing her. The universe just said, let's play. Yeah. Let's play ball.
Let's tickle these ladies.
That's right. So then there's the other approach that sometimes shows up where you have a desire and you're working on manifesting it. Sabrina wasn't working hard on manifesting that. That was just like a little divine play, right? But what if there's something that you're desiring to create? An improved relationship, meeting someone that you just want to spend more time with, right? Like I want to have that love experience in my life. I don't know what it is, whatever. Like you can count your list right now. Like what are the things that you are wanting more of?
Yeah.
So here's what I have found in my life. It's so important for me to stay in not a contracted way. So let me explain it like this. I think that there are forces at work in our life that do the heavy lifting, that bring the person that you're meant to connect with into your life, that create the moment that you happen to come upon exactly what you need. Like years ago, I was led to this Qigong workshop. I had asked the divine to please guide me to something that could finally heal my body. And I had tried everything, right? You guys, most of you know my story. Something aligned because I was desiring and I was projecting and I was expecting, I was trusting something bigger than myself could do the heavy lifting and could bring that to me. What if we do that all the time?
Yep.
What if we live in what you say 100% faith?
Yeah.
And that means that even when the external doesn't like immediately show it to you, you don't lose the faith.
And that's being open to possibilities. We use that word a lot
you stay
too.
open, and you also realize that you are this energy, right? You are an energy being, and you have the ability to emanate based on love or contraction, which you might call fear, and fear has many faces: jealousy, frustration, anger, worry, anxiety,
Self-hatred, depression.
like we all know what that is. That's being out of alignment. When you're in alignment, there's trust. It's natural trust. There's a feeling of possibility. Optimism is natural for you. Mm-hmm. You feel excited even when you don't know how, right? There's a generosity of spirit coming through. There's all these other faces of love. And that it's not that difficult to identify which place you're in. Right? Unless you're just kind of numbing out.
By how you're feeling.
What we love is using your body as an instrument and as a temple to refine and recalibrate your listening skills. So you can feel when it's contractive versus expansive. And to really do your part to be mindful enough to notice when you're slipping out of alignment and getting into that place where you're like pushing the rock up the hill, you're doubting the power of the universe doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you, or doubting yourself, and I don't know if I can have this, or you said some of the yuckies in the beginning, things don't work out, I doubt I'll get this.
Yeah, I don't usually win, I'm not lucky.
But we believe that all those thoughts are just coming from being energetically out of alignment, because when you're in alignment, when you're connecting to that love force, your thoughts are naturally going to be positive. I don't know that you need to do a lot of personal development. I mean, I used to read all the books like you and you guys and do all the studying, and there's like this quick way. Clean up your system, get energetically aligned, and then listen.
Yeah.
That's what meditation is this art of listening to the true you. And the true you is pure optimism. It's pure love. It's pure generosity. Positivity. It's pure gratitude. It's you just going to explode into gratitude and love when you go deep. But then there comes, and I'm going to jump this back over to you, there comes this beautiful skill of appreciating when you're out of alignment. This is really important, to not judge yourself for missing the mark, right? The archer doesn't hit the center of the target. That's called a sin, right? Oh, the sin is bad. No. Oh, you screwed up. You did something dodo. Right? You made a mistake or whatever, and you go, oh.
You put your pants in the dirty clothes with a Kleenex in the pocket again. Again.
Who did that?
And again.
Who did that? Who did that?
Who sinned? No. Again and again.
It wasn't me.
It was you.
It was my false self. No, it was my unaware self. So thanks for bringing it down to the practical, babe. I made a pact with myself that I will never do that again. And I figured it out. I'm a strategy person. Like, if I don't like the way something goes, and I've done it enough times, it's like, oh man, come on, dude, you missed the mark. Sin, 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 sin. I keep sinning. No matter how many times,
you should have been burnt to crisp by now in hell for all your sin with the laundry.
I made a mess.
Oh, our washing machine is full of white fluff.
I mean, get the whip. But seriously, all jokes aside, can you catch that self-hatred, self-judgment, pity, victim, whatever, anger? Can you catch that shit?
Frustration.
And say, oh, wow, this is a guidance system. This is a lesson to get me to flip back into flow.
And the appreciation isn't in the moment. The key is to appreciate in advance. Right? I was already appreciating running into my friend. I was already appreciating the friendship. I was already appreciating the opportunity to rendezvous. Appreciating in advance, because the energies are so ahead of us. It's like manifestation. When something is like, boom, I can feel it, taste it, touch it, it's gotten pretty thick in vibration, very thick. But before it was thick, it was, you could only maybe smell it, get a whiff of it, a hint of it, maybe hear a ting-a-lingle of it.
A ting-a-ling-a-ling?
Ting-a-lingle. It was under, I have an analogy about linear time. You could say it's like a seed. It's under the ground. It's sprouting. It's growing. We say the plant is growing when, boom, it pops through the earth. But so much happened before that. So something else happened today that reminded me of something that happened a few years ago. So I'm going to tell the few years ago story because it's so funny. When I was, 22, I was so looking for mentors. So I'm going to say from the time I was born until I die, I'm always looking for wisdom. I love hearing wisdom. But I was really seeking someone to help me because I felt so lost and so alone. And I would go and I would talk to a lot of people, and I was usually very disappointed. I felt like they were spouting dogma or something that they had read rather than an actual experience of it. So I met this one woman. Her name is Carol Carbone, and I was so young, and she was much, much older, and she had a doctorate in something spiritual. But she put on spiritual retreats, and I went on retreats with her and spent time with her. And she made a living as like a psychic and teaching other people how to tap into their intuition. And I had not thought of her or spoken to her in at least, 20 years?
Oh, this story.
Yeah, over 20 years.
Way more.
Over 20 years.
Yeah.
Since I had spoken to her, I had moved to a different state. I changed my first name. I changed my last name. I changed my career. I changed absolutely everything. And I started thinking about her. And so she was older when I spent time with her, so I looked her up online.
First clue, she started thinking about her.
Yeah, I started thinking about her, Googled her, second clue, and I'm like, oh, well, her website's still up. Let's see, you can book a session, you can have a phone call, you can have a Skype, and here's the buttons to pay. It was just PayPal, really like old school. And I thought, well, maybe I should just book a session with her just to say, hey. And I pressed the button to book a session. And it didn't work. The button didn't work. And I thought, oh no, what if she's still alive and she's got this website and she doesn't know that she's not getting clients because her button doesn't work? I'm going to call anonymously and tell her. And I had a landline then.
Like leave a message?
If you don't know what a landline is, it's like not a cell phone. It's those phones that you have at your
our
house.
audience knows what a landline. I bet you guys even know how to dial like that.
Rotary. It's a rotary.
Some people don't know how to use those phones.
So our landline had a caller block ID on it. So I was like, I'm going to call her. I'm just going to start leaving a message. And it was Sunday night. It was Sunday night at like 8 o'clock at night. Right, so I call, and I'm just going to call. I'm not going to say who it is, and I'm just going to say, hey, I just want you to know I was on your website, and I was trying to book a session, and the button doesn't work. You may want to have somebody take a look at it. I was just being kind, right? So I call the number. You're upstairs at the old house, and I'm downstairs in the living room on the landline because it's caller block. And I just wasn't ready to say, hey, this is so-and-so from your past from 20 years and your button doesn't work. So I call and the answering machine picks up and it says to leave a message. And I said, hi, I just want you to know that I'm on your website and I was trying to book a call and somebody, you know how with the old voice recorders, you can actually pick up the phone.
While you're leaving the message?
Yeah, while you're leaving the message because it's on a little cassette tape. So she picks up the phone. She goes, hello? I go, hi, I just wanted you to know, well, if you don't know my name, before it was Sabrina, was Debbie. And I said, hi, I was just calling to tell you that your PayPal button. She goes, Debbie? I'm like, Carol? She's like, yes. I'm like, how do you know it was me? And she's like, I'm psychic, silly. And I was so freaked out. I went, ah! And I threw the phone down.
You did?
Because I didn't know what to do. Like, it was so crazy that after 20 years, I said 3 words. And she's like, Debbie? And so I went and I picked up the phone and off the ground. I'm like, hi, Carol. I was just thinking about you. She's like, I know. She said, you've been following me around my house for the past 3 days.
Oh, bizarre.
And it had been about 3 days that I had been thinking about her and wondering how she was and what she was doing.
Wait, can you imagine being someone like,
and maybe I would connect
me?
with her. And she's like, you've been following me around my house for the past 3 days. And I wondered why. And now I know. And I'm like, wow, that just shows you how powerful our energy is. That me holding the thought of her and me holding the thought of how much I appreciated her. And how much I love this woman because she helped me so much at a time in my life. And how I wanted to speak to her and I wanted to see how she was. That she actually felt me following her around in her house for 3 days. That's crazy.
That's crazy cool.
So today, I had been thinking about this other woman that I wanted to connect with. And I had been looking for a way to connect with her, looking for a way, because I wanted to invite her to see what I do, because I'm seeing what she does. And she seems like a really sweet, big, open, sensitive heart. And she has a business, not similar to what we do, but aligned. So I finally took the time to find out how to connect with her and send her an email. And it came back that she's on vacation till January 16th. So I sent her a message in another way. And she writes back and she goes, I went and looked at your email. It's so funny, Sabrina. I've been thinking about you for the past few days.
Ay, chihuahua.
And I'm like,
woman.
Of course you have. Because I've been thinking about talking to you. So it was such a blessing for me to remember the power of our thoughts. Our thoughts are so powerful. I'm so glad that I was having these beautiful thoughts towards people. I mean, how many times a day do you guys think of someone and just think it's a random thought? But do you ever think that maybe they have received that thought that you thought of them, that the connection energetically has already been made? That it's great to follow through, but just the thought kind of tapped them on the shoulder and they're thinking about you too.
So you ready for the secret of how this all works? I have stories too, but we don't have time for all the stories, but let's get to the secret of what's going on here. We've become business partners with people because of this. Like John Astoraf was one of our first business partners, a guy from the movie The Secret.
The woman I just talked about.
So what's going on? How are these connections happening? So we have to talk about the field. We have to talk about your ability to collapse time and enter into a timeless dimension. And in order for you to enter this dimension, sort of like the witch in the wardrobe, to go through that wardrobe, or if you ever saw Somewhere in Time, where he collapsed time and entered into another dimension. He entered in through the field.
I love that movie.
Right? Christopher Reeves, right?
And Jane Seymour.
Yeah, beautiful movie. But it was representing, he was able to change the substance of his thought, his consciousness. It collapsed the time he was in and brought him into another dimension. So how are we collapsing time and creating this? Because energy dictates reality. Well, one of the most important things is for you to be able to maintain your energetic alignment to that which you desire. Now, most people's focus lasts for just a little while and then it gets split. They focus on something they want, they're starting to get aligned, the energy's starting to get good, and then something happens and they lose their focus, they lose their aim. So you have to get really good at not trying to make it happen, not focusing like that. It's a relaxed focus, it's a meditative focus, it's a very open focus. And it's an aligned energy because your feeling, your energy, what you're emanating, right? We keep using this, what you're projecting is what's going to carry the message of your energy into the field. Now the field, quantum field, divine field, whatever you want to call it, this energetic state of consciousness that we're all birthed from, and then we're here in this physical reality, is dictating what we are projecting. It's energy. So our energy is either getting skewed or it's getting aligned. Mm-hmm. So the things that show up for you that feel good, that feel love-based, means that you're aligned to that pure energetic consciousness that is the field. So if you want to compress time and you want to have fun playing in this physical realm, you have to learn to go into that zero state, that place of no mind, no thinking, where you're soaking in it. Thank you, March. And you're soaking in the divine field.
You look like Palmolive tonight.
Palmolive tonight. When we met John, I was in a standing Qigong meditation, dissolved in what's known as Wuji, the no mind, the state of oneness, in field, in the energetics of that. And something popped. I didn't have a conscious thought, oh, I want to meet this person. It just popped, like, oh. And as I came back into awareness, the physical body and my feeling became a thought. The energy translated into a thought. I walked in the house. I said, Sabrina, I just had this intuitive hit, where it'd be really cool to work with someone like, I said, this guy that was in this movie.
Yep. And I said, if he meets us face to face, he's going to ask to be our business partners.
Because she was tapping in.
Yeah.
The point is that there's a lot of wisdom within us already, that if we could just get out of our head, we also get in the heart, just get out of the way and enter in through meditation, the alignment will speak through us. This has been our experience. This is what a Satori is. It's where the inner knowing speaks through you. And if you can live in that connection and maintain that connection and that projection, and that's all you're expecting, is all that is good is coming into being, and then all that is good is coming into being. And it's not a hack when I said it's a secret. It's not like you're trying to hack, well, this is how I'm going to meet the love of my life. You're just aligning to what feels so beautiful. And then you get surprised and delighted by the divine.
Yeah. And
you bump into a friend at the airport, or you get a phone call from John Assaraf's company saying, hey, we'd like to meet you. And you never made the call to ask for that. Stuff like that, right?
It's so fun.
We didn't go looking in that way. We went aligning. You go aligning. Mm-hmm. It's like go fishing, go inside and get into aligning, and then listen.
And you can't get disappointed along the way when things, like with meeting my friend, oh, my car's in the shop. Oh, you can't change your energy. And I want to say something about how you do align to the energy. It happened to me this morning. I set my alarm early this morning, and I was laying on my back. And actually, Bonnie, I remembered the meme that you posted that Tristan said. What was it? The
doorway to love is gratitude.
Yeah. And I was thinking, that was so beautiful. It was so beautiful, Bonnie, that you made a meme out of that, because it's so powerful. So I put my hands on my belly, and it was this incredible moment. Tristan was actually on his side facing me, so I took his hand and I put it on my heart, and I put my hands on top of his, and Bentley was under the cover, and I could feel his body along my outer thigh, and Winston was on top the cover, and I could feel him on the other side. So it was just such a moment of feeling blessed. And I closed my eyes and I was breathing for a moment and just tapping into, I am grateful. And it was like this, I am grateful. I am grateful. And this, it's hard to describe, but I'm going to say the nothingness kind of volcanoed and exploded or opened up or blossomed into a completely different experience. And in what happened during that breath, like going up a level more into a different dimension, I realized that the misunderstanding of I am grateful, from the way like, Oh, I'm so grateful for this water. Sabrina is grateful for vision. Sabrina is grateful for a heater in her house tonight, which is all wonderful, right? To I am grateful. Like I am gratitude. I am the thing itself. I am appreciation. Holding that as a complete experience of who I am with no effort at all. There was nothing to be grateful for. I am. I am the complete vibration and alignment of gratitude. I am appreciation for no reason at all. I am the state. I am the vibration. I am that. I am that. Not I am me talking about an emotion. It was so different and it was so beautiful. And I realized that's the fastest way. That is alignment. Alignment is to be the thing that you want to feel. Be that. Be love. Right? Like I love you is beautiful, but what if I am love? Not what if, but moving into completely being absorbed into the frequency and the experience of that and aligning with that. It's contagious and it will align to everything. It's so different. And then the outside doesn't matter. The outside is so amazing to be grateful for Tristan and the puppies and the bed. And of course I'm grateful, but way more magnificent to be. I am grateful. And then all of that is just there. It was pretty profound.
Let's land it with candy cane consciousness. So there is you and you. There's all that you've become, your identity as you know yourself today, the way in which you play today, your story, all of it. And you blend all of that in with the consciousness that you are, the I am, and you allow this co-creative energy to express through you. And there's an upgrading that takes place, right? You came here, you plopped in, here you are in this physical form, and you got all that other stuff. But on a conscious, cellular level, many, many things, as you're aligning through the field into this beautiful love force energy, you're getting upgraded consistently. Your body is changing. Your cells are vibrating at a different frequency. You're vibrating at the speed of love. Your thoughts are changing naturally without you having to do a bunch of work on yourself because you already are incredibly beautiful. You have that capacity within you already. You're not going to get all your ducks in a row mentally and then everything's great now. Like you can do that, but it doesn't last usually. And then there's just this blended consciousness where essence is speaking to and through you. But you know yourself as that. You're fully merging. It's the full integration. So many people are doing all these amazing things in their life to get to that, like plant medicines and journeys and things like that. And the most important part of all that is if you actually tap that, is you integrate it.
Can you hold on to it?
Can you blend it and be it?
Yeah.
And enjoy being in this physical form while you're completely tethered to the divine at all times. Always know yourself as that. And here's how you know when you're not. You will feel out of alignment. You'll feel compression.
Look around your life.
You look at the evidence. It'll say, hey, something's funky wonky here. Like if you can look at something and it's wonky, but you're like, I'm cool with it, then you stay in alignment, right? Stuff happens, but usually that's just to help you upgrade a little bit more, right? It's okay.
Yep.
Contrast isn't bad. It's how you grow. I always say, you want to get better at wrestling? Wrestle someone stronger than you, right? So we need a little bit of friction from time to time. It's not bad. It's what you do with it. And you ultimately wake up and you go, oh,
yeah,
love in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
Love in
Yeah,
disguise.
like when we were in California, something happened that I would say that from the outside, in a, let's say, a way you would measure it, did not happen to the degree of my positive expectation. There was something that was disappointing. And I caught it so fast, and I'm like, but I don't believe in that. Only good things happen to me. And I don't understand why what I was hoping would unfold didn't unfold in the way that I wanted it to. But I'm catching it. I'm just going to know that, something better, something unknown, a lesson. Oh, I'm going to get a degree in something else. I'm going to learn something else. This is a soul school. I'm going to learn something else. But I am not going to be disappointed because I am gratitude. I don't need the outside to go all hunky-dory. And so when things don't line up, I have to, not from a Stuart Smalley place reframe, but reframe from this higher consciousness. What?
You just Stuart Smalley, so funny. You guys know, right? Saturday Night Live. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough.
Gosh
darn it.
People like me.
Go, Stuart. All right, that's what we have for you today. So it's been lovely reading all of your sweet comments as we're flowing along here together. This soul community, you guys, you make us so rich. Thank you for being in our lives. We're going to do a special Trish show next week. So it'll be on the 27th.
This one's not special.
No, it'll be
this one's not special.
Next week will be special. This was just blasé. But next week, super special.
Whoa, we're going to be given a gift.
We have a gift. We're going to do some envisioning, not envisioning, not external, envisioning into 2023. You may want to do this when you come with your annual calendar if you have one, or just make a mental note of the stuff that took place this year. And I would pay attention to the ones that made your energy go up, things that lit you up, made you feel joyful.
Sometimes going through your phone and looking at pictures is helpful.
That's a great idea. And just kind of chronologically take a quick snapshot of your year, and you'll be able to use that in the envisioning process next Thursday at 6 o'clock. All right.
Wait.
We
need a screenshot?
Screenshot. I feel like an elf. Hi. Okay. All right. That's it. Enough of that. No more screenshots.
And tune in next week when we have a good episode of the Trish Show.
That's right.
Oh, and if you want to sign up for our email list so that you can get reminders via email 10 minutes before we go live and know what the topic is, here is the call to action, because you should always, if you've taken our on-camera client attraction secrets bootcamp, have a call to action in every video and every show. So you're going to go to...
No, that's not it.
Don't go there. You got some splaining to do.
Let me fix it. I think you can just go to justbreathe.com.
No.
Yeah, you can.
No.
You can, but that's the thing. We can. I think it's TT. I think it's Trisbrina. Darn it. Tris. How do I spell Trisbrina? Trisbrina. Try this link. Oh no.
We only send reminders to the people who register because we don't want to bug anybody.
That's right. No bugging. Trisbrina. Storymap.com/Trisbrina. All right, y'alls.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
Hum-de-dum and a Happy New